Right. Okay. And then if I can get you to come round that side, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get out of the background.
That's it. Come in here. Come right forward across there. That's it. Just leaning right across there. Looking towards me here. That's lovely. Right. And then we're going to get one shot of you just on the train. Just eyes towards me, then nice big smiles. Lovely old job. Right, Joe. That's it. Nice big smiles looking at me. Lovely. Eyes this way. Here we go. You wonderful stars. That's it. Lovely. Big smiles waving at me. Thank you. Excellent. That's lovely. Towards me here. Lovely. Look at me. That's it. Straight into the camera again, because that's really nice. That's it. Lovely. Straight to the camera. Steady, Mrs. Looking at me. Steady. I'm only a young man. That's it. Lovely. Last one then.
Shall I start, darling? We'll be here all day, won't we? First of all, I'm Mrs. Fox. Just before we go a bit further, can anybody tell me my Christian name? Who said Mildred? Mildred. And the man who said Marcia, I think I started as Marcia, and halfway through the series, David changed it to Mildred. Don't ask me why. But may I introduce you to the vicar, Frank Williams?
Yeah, I was the vicar. I'm a Christian soldier. I married Mrs. Fox to Clive and to Corporal Jones, made an honest woman of her at the end of the series and popped around for the rest of the time. That's me, really. And now, of course, the one and only, the most famous episode of all, Philip Madoc here.
Don't tell him your name, Pike.
Yeah.
Together, Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. You don't know the words, it doesn't matter, that's why. No, it's just a delight, actually, as I said, to be involved in a couple of the best jokes ever remembered by the British public was wonderful. They've been quoted to me regularly over the years, usually wrongly, but nevertheless I laugh. I think, yes, that was a very good line. Nothing like the actual line at all, but nevertheless, because there was a quality behind it, people do remember it, and that's delightful. No one would have thought I could have heard any number of times that all these years ahead, at least 5, that we'll be here now celebrating this. It's quite extraordinary, but it is an inevitable indicator of the quality of the whole programme, and I'm delighted to say, particularly of the one I was involved with. It was beautifully written, beautifully presented, and very well acted, and so that probably is...
Except for one person.
All except for one person. She's my mother, actually. No, all except for that, but it is an indicator, as I say, of the quality of a writing, and so one is still involved. One became gradually, in my case, involved because of the growing success of the programme, and whenever I do see it on whichever programme, I still actually laugh. And I don't laugh deliberately, I still find it funny. That is an indication again of uniqueness, because that doesn't happen very often. So on top of this, I've never been here before, and it's a super occasion, isn't it? It really is marvellous. And without Bill, I mean, we can still carry on. We don't need him, really. He's our historian, you see. He knows everything. That's why he's still writing down there. Can't be bothered to turn up. Come on, Bill.
He's being grumpy somewhere, that's what
That's
it
what
is.
it is as well.
And bossy.
I saw him writing his name now. He's writing it so often, I had to spell Bill for him. He's forgotten what it is. But anyway, please, it's open to you now, you know.
And I tell you something, darlings, even now, he'll say to us, Bill and me, Frank and me, he says, come along, dear, hurry up. I said, all right, Bill, I'm coming. Well, you're taking your time. She got so bossy, he still is bossy. But he's wonderful and I love him. Would you like to ask any questions of us at all? Is there anything you'd like to know? Anybody ask a question? Yes. He lives in Portugal. And he was over here, when was it?
A year ago.
3 weeks.
At the back. Can you?
Thank you.
Never mind. Come the revolution, you'll be here in the front. Goes down very well, actually.
Anything else? Something about Frank?
And some of Clive's more extraordinary moments too. I mean, wonderful stuff to watch.
Anybody else? Yes, darling. What was what? My favourite part of the series, well, of course, it must be the wedding. But no, the other one was in the sidecar. I was in a sidecar, which we did down at Thetford and the place, with the verger. And he wasn't very good at driving this car. And it was one of those old-fashioned ones, you see. So David said, get in, you'll be all right, Pam. Teddy's okay. Well, darling, talk about taking a in your hands. We drove along that place.
The studio. But I mean, I have to say there were times when people did dry stone dead. I mean, myself included on one awful occasion when I think they had to do it about 4 times with me. I had to go to a window in the vicarage and say something. Every time I got to the window, I couldn't think what I had to say. Absolutely awful. I was quite right, you do feel awful, yes.
Oh, you feel good. Yes.
Excuse me, madam.
The boss is coming.
He does this every time.
Say hello to the ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, dear, come on.
Come along.
You know who you are.
He's getting a bit geriatric.
I couldn't get in here just now because I heard this boy
Say
Go on, say hello, dear.
Hello. How are you? All right. How lovely to see you all. There we are. It's nice to be here with all my puffs, friends, and I think I've turned now. It's jolly nice, you know, to, when you get old, to know you can get on the turn and nobody will shout at you. Yes. No, it's very funny how people, you know, they still do recognise us, don't they? Occasionally. They talk to people, they talk to you, and they'll talk to you, and they'll talk to you. They don't talk, they recognise me and then run away and avoid me.
Can you blame them, dear?
Why? I mean, I'm the most charming person, really. What do you mean, oh yes? But it's true. Here, a lady today when I came in, you know, it is nice when people come up and say, you know, hello, how are you? It's nice to see you. Then this lady came up, she started laughing. And I thought, that's strange. And she said, ha 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 ha. I thought, oh, God, one of those. And she said, oh, didn't you used to be Bill Pertwee? It's nice, isn't it? Lovely. Well, you've got to ask me some questions. Is that right? What road is it you live in? No, mind, no, don't tell me. No, it's, you know, I could go straight there if I could remember. So he was in control immediately, you see. He backed off this lady, had the wind blown out of herself, really. And Arthur was in control. Not really, but he was giving that impression that he was, but never quite. That's why the warden used to have a good time with him, because come in and shake him up, and Arthur would never have a real answer. Just if somebody said, well, what about that outburst? He said, what could you expect? Greengrocer with dirty fingernails? That wasn't it. Well, we all have our memories, don't we, of Arthur Lowe? I expect they've told you of theirs and of the other folks as well. I mean, John Norrie, we all went off about 40 minutes late. What it was. And John Norrie, if you said to John, come on, we're ready, he goes, hold on. I've only had one cup of tea and that was cold. Ridiculous. Clive wandering about saying, I left my boots somewhere. Where are my boots? I left my boots somewhere. I don't know, did I? Like schoolboys. I'm sure of that.